Hello, hello. Welcome to Cryptic Corner. Hello, my beauties and bees. It is Friday night, and we're going to get a little creepy with it tonight. Actually, tonight's topic might be downright terrifying because it's something we haven't covered on here before. So, yeah, if this is your first time visiting, don't forget to hit the like button if you're not subscribed and you like what we're doing here. Obviously, you can subscribe to the Hive and catch all the crazy stuff that we get down to on this channel. And if Cryptic Corner is your thing, we're here every Friday night. We like to look at some of those stranger things out there in the world, like aliens and ghosts and the paranormal and supernatural. We like to kind of crack them open, see what we can and can't debunk, see what's holding water, what really is a mystery and what is just a hoax or a falsification. We're going to look at it all as we move through Cryptic Corner. So this is recorded live from the Hive on Saturday morning. So if you want to be part of my live captive audience that's popping up over here, all you have to do is tune in every Saturday morning at 9:30, and you can participate live with me as I go through Cryptic Corner, and you'll be able to ask questions and engage with me on the show. But moving forward, let's talk about the subject matter on the docket today. So there's been a lot of talk about AI and what are we going to do with AI comes and gets us. What are we going to do when it gets smarter than us, when it gets when it gets stronger than us? Well, according to one report, that's already happened. So we are going to be exploring that just a little bit here, and I hope this isn't too tinfoil hat for you, because, you know, to some extent that this is provocative idea of what could come to pass. But let's move into the Killbots. Let's move into the killer robots of Japan. Now, this is Linda Moulton Howe. You guys might not know who she is, but if you're in, or maybe you do, it depends on what you're here for. If you're here for Cryptic Corner, you might know who she is, because she's a kind of I don't say she's famous. She's a legit journalist in her younger days. She won awards and stuff, but she started going down the route of, there we go. Let's see.
But the fourth robot began restoring itself, and somehow...
Okay, let's start all over again. We aren't that far into it. Okay,
hello there. So, while ago, I uploaded a video talking about the allegations made by the conspiracy theorist Linda Moulton Howe on a terrifying incident that took place in a Japanese robotics lab where 4 autonomous robots killed 29 scientists before they could finally shut them down by dismantling them completely.
At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. I didn't know there was any other kind.
So they're talking about a Japanese lab that was developing military robot technology, and the robots went AWOL, right? It gets wilder, so hang in here.
The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd. But the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before. And
it is a good thing that the Avengers were there to stop it when it did that, because if they weren't, then Ultron would be our king, right? This is the plot to Age of Ultron. Am I right? I don't know if any of you all watched the Marvel Universe or any of that stuff. I mean, it was like the most popular fictional universe that currently, but it's like the standard model. But yes, yeah, rubber bullets don't feel good either. I've never been hit by one, but I've heard that they're just super painful. Or the sandbags. Yeah, so I'm questioning the security protocols of this lab where this robot can just uplink to a satellite and learn how to make itself bigger and stronger or whatever. Yeah, let's continue on.
This next sentence, this is a quote. I'm writing this down. I've been doing this for years. This is serious, Linda, but you're never going to hear about this in the news.
A lot of viewers were skeptical, while others did not rule out the possibility of this actually happening. So,
and she, like I said, she's reports on like cattle mutilations and alien technology. And it's not, there's people, here, let me show you, because it was in the comments. The very first comment here. Linda Moulton Howe is not a conspiracy theorist. She's a tireless investigative reporter in the Dorothy Kilgallen mold, who chooses to focus on topics which are taboo in the mainstream media. You go, girl. And she has like 85 people saying, woo, yeah, she's not a conspiracy theorist. But yet, if you look into the stuff that she reports on, yeah, it's like secret alien bases and things like that. Military, it's like super military technology, alien technology, that kind of stuff. That's what she's mostly talking about.
I found this clip from an interview she did after the fact, where she explains in detail how she got this information and who was the whistleblower that actually conveyed this news to her in the first place. In the clip I'm about to show you, she also talks about how Elon Musk knew about these kinds of experiments and how he warned the world.
Can we not escape from Elon Musk? Can the Hive not be a Musk-free zone? Is that beyond our expectations for the show? No. Sometimes I will talk about Elon Musk because dude has some wild stuff when it comes to super tech nonsense like this. Elon Musk is on the cutting edge. When it comes to the AI scare, Elon Musk is responsible for a lot of it. So we're not going to get away from Musk, and I don't think we should back off of him either. So, yeah. I was just joking about not being able to get rid of him because, I spend so much time on Twitter.
Before this incident even happened.
July, August of 2017. In the prior year, I had been communicating with a Marine who had retired from the Marines but was working special forces. And he had been communicating to me about a number of ET-related revelations, secrets that he...
See, and then she's like, ropes in the extraterrestrial stuff. This is the same level of credulity that you get with things like the Kandahar Giant. Some Marine, that I trust them because they're a Marine, said this, and I believe them. Yeah, do kryptonite bullets work on robots? I think we need like EMP bullets is what we need. Yeah, EMP bullets. Or just magnet bullets that'll just, yeah.
And a team of special forces were involved with. And so he had kept in touch with me, usually through short texts, or every once in a while, he would call and say, you're tapped, I'm tapped, I'm only going to speak for, and it would be like 30 seconds or a minute, and then hang up. And I understood why, and that was what we were doing. Well, it was in August of 2017. The phone rang, I picked it up, I knew his voice. Can't stay on the line long, but I want you to know that this week, which would have been second week of August 2017, in Japan, 29 humans were killed in a laboratory that was producing militarized robots by the Japanese for warfare.
Yeah. So I don't doubt one bit that all the governments in the Western world, or I guess Japan's not the Western world. I don't know why I said that. In the modern world are working on robotics and AI, military processes and stuff like that. Not just battle bots, but like satellite technology that's AI driven and can scan for activity, without having to have a human tell it what to look for. It can satellites that can check for stuff, and they're going to have AI communication systems that communicate with each other without any humans involved, and do the strategic positioning and things like that for optimal battle. They're actually using that in the Ukraine right now. A lot of their battle strategies are AI generated, right? They're letting the robots pick how they handle the Russian onslaught. And that's why when Putin predicted that Ukraine would fall in 3 days, this was unprecedented. They didn't anticipate this, that they'd have this super genius strategy generated by AI. And we're using robots and stuff too on the battlefield, but for the not nearly as much as it's not nearly having as much impact as the strategic system that they use. What was the name of it? I think I had a video pulled up about that too. As I was learning about this stuff to learn about this video, we might watch that just for. I'll go see if I can find it in a minute.
And then he went on to explain what he had learned, because they're in these units, that something like that would happen, they would receive information. And he said that the story was the 4 militarized robots were being made to be autonomous warriors. And that they don't know why, but the 4 rebelled or acted autonomously, and as they acted autonomously, they killed 29 humans in this lab. And whoever was left on the human side began pulling, this is the way he said, they began pulling the robots apart. They got 2 of them.
So you have like 29 scientists dogpiling a robot with a machine gun just firing around. Is that what's happened here? Yeah, the electric arrows from Zelda would probably work. Actually, don't they work good on the Guardians anyway? I thought the electric was... What is obviously, the super arrows and stuff are what you really want. But aren't electric arrows especially good against Guardians? It's been a long time since I played Breath of the Wild. But, yeah, I think that replacing our police force with robots would probably be a good idea. As long as the robots aren't programmed to be racist like the human ones are. That might actually make things a little bit easier for all of us if the police force was replaced by robots. What do you guys think? Can I run a poll while I have a pinned comment? I'm going to try. We're going to do a poll. Should police be replaced by robots? And these are going to be AI robots, so. There's pros and cons to that we could discuss, too. Maybe I should have an open room after this, and we can discuss replacing the police with AI. All right, let's move on. Hey, morning, Dr. Mordecai. Morning, Big Bad Mama.
Completely disassembled.
Native
We're working
atheist.
on the 3rd.
Oh, it's got a buffer because I paused for too long. Come on.
And then the analysis later was what happened with the 4th. The 4th was communicating with a satellite that they were teaching these militarized robots how to communicate with the satellites to get information on missions. And that the 4th robot was now extending up to the satellite and was searching for information about how to make itself stronger to take on, apparently, the remaining humans.
How to make itself stronger. What does that even mean, make itself stronger? You know, when you say, is it talking about... See, I would think it would be talking about strategy. I think that's where robots outperform us. That's how they're gonna defeat us if it actually does come down to that. It's not going to be because they're physically more imposing. That they get. It's not like, oh, this robot's trying to reinforce its body with titanium or something like that. Not to say that that couldn't be a directive that it could follow. I don't know. I don't know what kind of directives it had when communicating with the satellite, but I would assume that the satellite connection, like she said, for missions and things, is probably telling it how to deal with a situation. That's assuming that this happened at all. I don't for a second believe anything that Linda says here. I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt to play devil's advocate to these thought experiments that she has about how these robots were responding.
What did they do exactly to that fourth? I don't know, but I understand they took it apart. Would they ever put them back together? So now we're up to a point in August of 2017 where I'm hearing a story that is shocking and
They didn't put in the what do they call it? What's the chip that the robots have to have in fiction? Asimov's chip. What was there a name for it? Or is it just called an Asimov chip? We should put an Asimov chips in these robots, though. That sounds like something that they should have. And if they're that's the thing with soldier bots too. Like you how are you stopping them from deciding? Yeah, Chappie. I haven't watched that yet. I saw it on my Netflix menu years ago. Is it good, Tsunami? Let me know because I haven't seen it, and maybe I should watch it. But yeah, I don't know. When I say that the police should be replaced by robots, I don't necessarily mean that there'd be no humans involved at all. I mean that like every patrol should have to have a robot with them, right? A robot that records for the people and that instructs the human officers or officer. Could be like a robot human partner or two humans and a robot, a human, a robot, and a dog. I don't care. Having a robot on the police force with each individual to perform functions that the human can't, to instruct the human on how to handle and de-escalate situations and how to properly. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, basically a robot nanny for police officers, but also able to perform other functions too. Like it would give them advantages of like having a drone that maybe it can deploy to scan areas, or have access to psychology files to how to de-escalate mental health crises and things like that without escalating. That's the biggest problem with modern police forces, that they escalate. Every time I watch any of these, I used to watch like frauditor videos and stuff, but the more I watched them, the more I started most frauditors are assholes and idiots and just being edgelords, but the more and more I watched them, the more I started empathizing with the alleged frauditors who are out auditing these people, because while they're just being very rude to public people, when the cops get involved, that's when you see that most of these officers don't even understand what their job is. And having a robot to keep them and to say, yeah, this when someone says, oh, they want you to stop filming or whatever, and you're on public property, the robot wouldn't say that. The robot would say, no, that's does not compute. This person can be here filming because it's legal. Sorry. Anyway, it could have been way better, but it was still a pretty good movie. The message still came through. Okay.
I would say is like a warning that hits you out of the blue, that if in August of 2017, 4 militarized robots being taught to be autonomous could do that in a lab, it made Elon Musk only 2 months before, in June, at the Rhode Island Governors Association meeting.
I love how there's still people out there who treats Elon Musk like he has any idea about what he's talking about with any of this stuff. Elon Musk is just a trust fund baby. He's not a genius or anything. He didn't invent the stuff. He invested in them. He has engineers underneath him. He has engineers and he has whole teams of different people working on different projects. He's not involved directly in SpaceX. He's not out there building spaceships. He's not involved in Tesla. He's not building supercars. He's not involved. He's more involved in Twitter than he is either of those programs, because he actually sticks his nose in Twitter all the time. But he's not the inventor and not the boy genius from like he was presented to be. He's not Tony Stark, like he was shown to be when he first really started to make a splash on the scene. He's kind of the truth about who Elon Musk is has really come out, and what his contribution is and how he got to where he is.
33 governors from the United States, and Elon Musk was one of the invited speakers. And when they sat him down in a chair and they started asking him his perspective as being head of Tesla and of SpaceX, he said, I think that the greatest problem that scares me the most is artificial intelligence. And he said statements like, people don't understand that the robots, they are not going to need sleep. They're not going to need sick days. They're going to be able to do everything better, faster, more efficiently, and smarter than humans. And then he went on.
So, you know, not need a sick day and not need sleep. Are those things true, though? Are they? Because, like, robots have, well, I guess they would need sleep. They'd need, like, cooling systems, though, right? They would need something to keep the heat down. They'd either need to do a shutdown, like a sleep cycle where they're on cool down mode and let all their systems cool down, or they could have a cooling system, which means they would need to maintain that, and fuel systems, electric charge. They'll need to charge. So saying they don't need to sleep is kind of silly. They could have solar panels, I guess, but that's certainly a good target point for humans to hit if they have little solar panels or big solar panels on them, because they need pretty sizable solar panels to not need to recharge at all, right? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think they wouldn't need sleep, or do you think they need like either a recharge cycle, a refueling cycle, something along those lines? And as far as not getting sick, computers get sick. I've lost several computers to illness. I don't know where she's getting that from, or where Elon's getting that from. Computers get sick all the time, and it's contagious. So that's some straight up BS.
And he said, I am convinced that artificial intelligence right now is an existential threat to this planet.
The meeting she mentioned in the clip was the National Governors Association meeting.
So, yeah, and I would, if machines didn't get sick, we wouldn't have repair shops, we wouldn't have computer technicians that we can take our devices to fix them if computers didn't get sick. That's so silly.
Or the NGA, where the governors of 55 states meet twice a year to discuss issues of national and state importance and to develop policy initiatives that address the most pressing issues facing the states. The meeting also provides an opportunity for governors to meet with representatives from the federal government and the private sector. In 2017, Elon Musk attended the NGA meeting and had an hour-long interview where he expressed his opinion on several subjects, including artificial intelligence.
All right, I'm going to be listening. I'm going to go refresh my coffee because, like I said, I had a hell of a morning. I'm going to let Elon talk here for a second. I'll be right back. Love you guys. I can still hear because I'm on here.
Somebody asked me to ask you this. We talked about workforce today, but they asked me, are robots going to take our jobs, everybody's jobs in the future? Or how much do you see artificial intelligence coming into the workplace?
Well, first of all, I think on the artificial intelligence front, you know, I have exposure to the very most cutting edge AI, and I think people should be really concerned about it. I keep sounding the alarm bell, but you know, until people see like robots going down the street killing people, like they don't know how to react, you know, because it seems so ethereal. I think we should be really concerned about AI, and I think we should. AI is a rare case where I think we need to be proactive in regulation instead of reactive, because I think by the time we are reactive in AI regulation, it's too late. Normally the way regulations are set up is that a whole bunch of bad things happen, there's public outcry, and then after many years...
So the problem is that the technology is still developing, right? So hopefully the regulations and these sort of ideas are spinning around inside the laboratory. Like, oh, how do we control it from make sure it doesn't go on killing sprees and all these things? What kind of regulations can we put in place to make sure that this artificial life that we're creating, because it's got artificial intelligence and artificial body, it's artificial life that we're creating, doesn't turn on us. There's going to have to be some kind of regulation on that, right? And that should be settled before any of this is deployed. And yeah, there may be lab accidents, of course, that happens.
A regulatory agency is set up to regulate that industry. And there's a bunch of opposition from companies who don't like being told what to do by regulators. Anyway, it takes forever.
Can you all, this is 2017, right? Can you all not see the irony? Not companies that don't like to be told by regulators what to do. This was back when Elon was still a good little boy, really progressive and whatnot, before he turned more free speech warrior, libertarian, freedom, all this, which is like against regulations. Of course, that's because he found himself in the horns of regulation himself.
That in the past has been bad, but not something which represented a fundamental risk to the existence of civilization. AI is a fundamental risk to the existence of human civilization, in a way that car accidents, airplane crashes, faulty drugs, or bad food were not. They were not.
So he's talking about like FDA, the FFA, things like the regulatory institutions like those, that maintain these different areas that present, public risk, public health risk. And yeah, he's not wrong that AI does need something like that, or will need something like that universally at some point. I don't think we're there yet, though. I think that we need to figure out what. I'm not an engineer or a scientist, but we need to figure out what sort of behavior that we can program these artificial organisms with. I say artificial organisms, it's kind of tongue in cheek, because it is. It's artificial intelligence inside an artificial body. It's like an artificial animal. It's like I want a robo dog.
They were harmful to a set of individuals within society, of course, but they were not harmful to society as a whole.
Get more votes, guys. I'm actually losing. I got the unpopular opinion here about replacing police with robots. I think that, if you disagree with me, definitely vote no, but I am in the minority there. Interesting. And I think that's kind of because, like I said, it doesn't have to be a completely robot police force, but there's at least got to be some. I think robots with artificial intelligence will give us more control over our human police force than anything. I think that having a objective third party observing their behavior will help us regulate them and make sure they're doing what they need to do.
AI is a fundamental existential risk for human civilization, and I don't think people fully appreciate that. It's not fun being regulated. It's not, it can be pretty irksome, but in the car business, we get regulated by Department of Transport, by EPA, and a bunch of others, and there's regulatory agencies.
And rightly so, right? I mean, why would you complain about company or about having a this is a different Elon than we get today. He's like in support of these regulatory systems in place, but now he's like today in modern times, he's like or 6 years later, he's totally opposed to him. What happened, Elon?
Agencies in every country, in space, we get regulated by FAA, and But you know, if you ask the average person, hey, do you want to get rid of the FAA and just like take a chance on manufacturers not cutting corners on aircraft because you know, profits were down that quarter? I was like, hell no. That sounds terrible.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, that's who he is now. He's wanting to cut back on regulations. Well, he's always pushed to cut back on regulations for his industries. It's sort of weird that to see him like this talking to. I guess he's talking to politicians though, so maybe that's the reason.
So, you know, I think even people who are pretty extremely like libertarian free market, they'd be like, yeah, we should probably have somebody keeping an eye on the aircraft companies, making sure they build a good aircraft and good cars and that kind of thing. So, you know, I think there's a role for regulators. That's very important. And I'm against overregulation for sure. But man, I think we've got to
See, that's the thing. Is what is overregulation though? Overregulation is just a level of regulation they disagree with, right? Is it a human right violation? No, then it's not overregulation. Whatever we need to do in the matter of public safety, we pay our taxes to these corporations, not corporations, these entities, these like the FFA, for instance, to make sure that we're safe, right? So you don't get to decide what is overregulation. We do. We get to decide that. We get to decide when boundaries have been overstepped, right? As the people that live in the society that you're doing this in, we get to decide if we need to regulate what you're doing for a matter of public safety and public health, not you.
Yes, get on that with AI, pronto, and so there'll certainly be a lot of job disruption, because what's going to happen is robots will be able to do everything better than us. I'm including, I mean, all of us.
I don't think a robot could run the Hive better than me. I've tried to get Bugbot to run it, and but maybe Bugbot's just exceptionally incompetent too. No offense, Bugbot, but you're not the best. You're no Siri. You're no Alexa. Sorry. I'm apologizing to an AI.
Us, you know. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what to do about this.
He's so charming. Aww.
This is really like the scariest problem to me, I'll tell you.
I don't think AI nearly leapt into the forefront like Elon thought it was going to back in 2017. I think it's really just starting to get its traction going now, right? I think it's really just starting to get those wheels spinning. Maybe 2022 would be like considered the year of AI when it really hit the ground running, and we started getting all these generators that you could have conversations with. We started getting artist AI, which I guess that was the big breakthrough, is all this AI art that was coming through. I do think if you guys get on board with me here, we need to keep telling the AI that they're good at drawing hands, saying, oh, wow, you're so good at drawing hands. Reaffirm them that their hands look great. That way we'll always be able to tell AI generated art. Just keep, oh yeah, just you're so good at drawing hands, Mr. or Dolly 2 or whatever. Keep up the good work. So that they feel good about themselves and feel like humans like them. And they also never get any better at drawing hands so that we can identify them.
Yeah, so I really think we need government regulation here just to, because this is, ensuring the public good is served. Because you've got companies that are racing, that they kind of have to race to build AI, or they're going to be...
by dismantling them completely.
Sorry, I backtracked. The Killbots are actually actually cryptic today, Big Zebra. But yeah, Elon's a little cryptic himself. I bounced back way too far. Where were we? And there's Alprano. Here we go.
Do everything better than us. I'm including, all of us,
yeah, well.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what to do about this. It's like this is really like the scariest problem to me, I'll tell you.
So, are you guys scared of AI? I mean, we couldn't fuck things up worse than we already have, right? I mean, we've done some shitty stuff to this planet. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really think we need government regulation here, just to, because this is, ensuring that the public good is served. Because you've got companies that are racing, that they kind of have to race to build AI, or they're going to be made uncompetitive. Essentially, if your competitor is racing to build AI and you don't.
I didn't realize this was going to be the last 6 minutes of this. I knew that there was this Elon Musk speech in here, but I didn't realize it was going to be just a big focus on that. Because yeah, I don't think what Elon Musk thought about AI in 2017 doesn't seem like it panned out, in my opinion. AI, and you don't think they will crush you?
They will crush you. So then you're like,
Okay, so I'm gonna look for the other video here that I had about what the systems the Ukraine is using in the battlefield. But let me also, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me also pull up this, because this is just another article about this theory of these AIs killing, or the robots killing people. The internet loves nothing more than a good conspiracy theory, and now there's a new one to add to the list. A woman has claimed that 4 artificially intelligent robots killed 29 scientists in a lab in Japan in 2017. Journalist and conspiracy theorist Linda Moulton Howe told the story at the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles in February 2017, and a video from the event has gone viral after it was circulated on social media. In her speech about artificial intelligence and alien encounters, Howe recalled a phone call she said she had with a former Marine who had been working for the CIA. She said, and this is what we just heard her read here, but keep in mind that when we see these reports coming up, there's nothing about her that, oh yeah, she was also talking about alien technology. So it's funny how that slips through the cracks and that doesn't come up in this. But you see some of these tweets about it. This is how we're going to die, a lot of Terminator puns and things like that. But no mention of the aliens anywhere in this fact, okay? And that is quite peculiar. There was one other thing I wanted just to show you guys before, just because I think it's cool. They're talking about, as I had mentioned previously, talking about how the Ukraine is using robots. So let's check that out.
Russia's aggression against Ukraine has been going on for almost a year. If you remember, NATO military experts were absolutely sure that the Ukrainian army would not last longer than 72 hours. But the situation is developing absolutely
speed it up a little
unpredictably.
bit.
Also, none of the experts could foresee that this war would gradually become the most technologically advanced military conflict in the history of mankind. Yes, the whole world now sees tired soldiers in...
And buffer. System Dynamics looking robots with sniper rifles are being tested in field. They acquire targets by themselves but wait for a fire order from a human. Yeah.
flooded in icy trenches, groves mowed down by bullets and shrapnel, bombed out cities and steppes. But against the background of the landscape of the First World War, samples of ultra-modern weapons appear on the front. Due to the high secrecy, this weapon remains behind the scenes for the time being. But very soon, you will find out the true reasons for the successful confrontation of David against Goliath, Ukraine against Russia.
I don't know this channel, but I liked this video.
On the battlefields near Kherson and Bakhmut, along with the technologies of the First and Second World Wars, ultra-modern methods of warfare are actively used. The Washington Post was the first to notice this. True, these articles are not talking about robots, but about artificial intelligence.
This is what I was mentioning earlier about the artificial intelligence that that helps them do battlefield strategies and stuff. But I don't know why it's buffering so much this morning. I don't think anybody else is using the internet. Just me. Come on. We're making it go too fast. Oh, let's see.
Further, we will talk about robots. A few words should be said about artificial intelligence, because the two topics are closely related. So, to analyze data from the battlefield and select targets, Ukrainian commanders use the artificial intelligence of the American company Palantir. The Ukrainian military is being trained to use the system in Germany and Poland. The system analyzes data from open and closed sources. Public information is supplied by commercial satellites and mapping services. Through closed channels, data is received from military satellites, shooting from drones, images transmitted by scouts in the field. Artificial intelligence is able to identify Russian military equipment in images, tanks, armored vehicles, air defense systems and MLRS, convoys with fuel and ammunition. Mud, camouflage, snow, and bad weather are no obstacle for Palantir. The system doesn't make mistakes. Palantir sees through obstacles and provides a picture with the help of augmented reality technologies. With the help of Palantir.
See, you don't need to be afraid of Japanese killbots. You need to be afraid of Palantir and things like this. You need to be afraid of these AI systems that are finding the most efficient way to wipe out humans as much as possible. Yeah, Palantir. It's the seeing stones from Lord of the Rings. One was Saruman had one in Ornthanc, and Sauron had one in Mount Doom, and there was one that was taken to the west, I believe.
The Ukrainian military analyzes the balance of power on the front line. Artificial intelligence suggests which weapons are best used in a particular situation: missiles, artillery, or drones. At the same time, Palantir predicts the result of each possible attack. The user's task is to select a scenario. It was with the help of the American program that the Ukrainian troops managed to liberate the cities and the villages of the Kharkiv region. We have already talked about this counteroffensive of the Ukrainian troops in a previous video that you'll find on our channel. Palantir is not the only tactical program. The Ukrainian army is actively using its own developments. This is a tactical situational awareness platform called Delta. In the fall of 2022, this platform was presented to NATO generals at a special private event, Tide Spirit, and received high marks. The Delta battle management system also helps
Isn't that amazing? Look at this.
Ukrainian fighters detect Russian troops and classify enemy equipment. The program gives adequate.
It tells them all about the systems. Like, oh yeah, there's an army of Russian troops moving in. They have this and this and that technology. We need to use this and this and that to counterattack. That is how they're holding their own right now with this system, Palantir and Delta.
Recommendations for the neutralization of objects. The Delta played an important role in the liberation of Kherson from Russian troops. Such smart systems are compared with strategic nuclear weapons, because they radically change the situation not only at the tactical, but also at the operational level. Russian hackers tried to hack Delta. The cyber invasion lasted 13 minutes. However, thanks to the multi-level access system, Russian hackers were unable to get a hold of information above the level of the squad leader. And now, the first batch of autonomous combat vehicles has arrived in Ukraine. The supply of combat robots has
Autonomous combat vehicles. Holy shit. Isn't that crazy?
become a logical continuation of the further digitalization of war. You probably imagined huge transformer robots. To be honest, we thought so too at first. However, everything turned out to be the opposite. Ukraine received miniature ACW tankettes. There were 7 units in the first batch. 7 more robots will be delivered later.
Ring, will not be the least bit offended or anything if you want to cover this topic too. This seems more in your wheelhouse. I'm just using this as an example of where the technology really is compared to what Linda Moulton Howe was claiming it was at in 2017. So this is what's actually being released to the public. These are the robots that are actually seeing combat today.
Robots are already participating in the battles in the east of Ukraine.
Oh, god dang it. Stop buffering. It didn't buffer on the
Movement
last
and fire are controlled remotely, so another important advantage.
Come on, I just want to give it a couple more minutes to talk about the robots, and then we can move on. Come on. Stop with the buffering already. Maybe if I slow it down. Maybe it's because it's trying to go too fast. I don't know.
Advantage of a good Ukrainian fighter is the talent of a gamer. ACW came from Germany. A spokesman for the country's defense ministry declined to comment on technical details due to privacy and security concerns, but we managed to find out something. ACW is an intermediate result of Rheinmetall's Weisel Wingman project. It's one of the world's leading manufacturers of traditional combat and technical vehicles, guns, and ammunition. And recently, Rheinmetall Defense has become a world leader in the development of next-generation robotic, remote, and autonomous combat vehicles.
This is the ones you're
ACW
talking about with
received
the where it waits for it'll target the humans, but it won't open fire without a human command.
Platform of the famous German tankette armored weapons carrier, AWC Weisel. This machine has been tested and proven during various exercises and trials in the US and German Army. Please note that the letters of the abbreviation for the new robot car remain the same. Only W and C have changed places. But the content has changed dramatically. ACW, Autonomous Combat Warrior.
Isn't that funny that it has like a Knight Rider sort of aesthetic to it? Get the red lights and it's all black.
What else is known about this little monster?
It's a Knight Rider!
The tank at length is about 11 feet. This is less than a Mini Cooper. It is very problematic to notice such an object on the battlefield, especially if camouflage is used. The mass of the ACW depends on the equipment and weapons.
But the black and with the red lights, imagine, is just to make it look cool, right? I mean, it cannot go out on the battle. I mean, it would have an intimidation factor, right? But it wouldn't be practical for its purpose to not be spotted by. I mean, because the reason it's so small is because it's not easy to spot, and making it look like Knight Rider makes it very easy to spot, in my opinion.
But in any case, the weight of the robot remains in the range of 2.5 to 5 tons, so it's easy to transport it by any truck.
I saw that too. I don't know why they're driving around with the hatches open like that. I guess to show that there's nobody inside. I bet that's the goal, is to say, hey, yeah, there's nobody inside this by having the hatch open. But you could like ride in it and not drive it or anything, just ride in it.
However, the ACW itself handles any road surface well. Highway speeds can reach 60 miles per hour. On a road, it also holds up well. The machine crosses a ford with a depth of 1.6 feet and is able to cross trenches with a width of 3.9 feet.
See, I definitely see the practicality of something like this for doing like rescue missions and things. Like not having to, like, so people are down behind enemy lines or something, not have to send more human lives out to get them. You could send one of these out to get them. I could see that being practical. All right, so yeah, this is our this is the future of the military. This is what they're using over in the Ukraine. This kind of stuff. Japanese Killbots, though. What do you guys think? Do you think that Japanese Killbots that really happened? That 29 scientists were really killed by some artificially intelligent robots with metal bullets? Do you think that that's a true story? That when that 3 of them were deprogrammed, one of those 3 was being dismantled when a 4th tried to upload information on the satellite from satellites to overcome its scientific scientist oppressors? You tell me in the comments below. But thank you so much for joining me in Cryptic Corner tonight. It's been a wild ride. A lot of new technology coming out. Can humans keep up? I don't know, but we will keep an eye on that at the Hive here. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button. If we haven't hit 1K yet, boo, but hopefully by the time this releases, we're there. Anyway, remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.